Today let us learn physics chapter light, reflection and refraction. Light is a form of energy. It travels with the speed of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. We are able to see object only when there is light. Suppose you are in the dark room. Can you see anything? No. We cannot see object in the dark room. Only if there is a light we can see an object. For example, you take this football. How we are able to see this football? When light falls on this object, the light will get reflected. This reflected rays will enter into your eyes and then you are able to see an object. In this chapter, we will be seeing about two phenomena of light, that is reflection and refraction. First we will see reflection, then we will see refraction. Reflection means when the light falls on a polished surface, it will get reflected. For example, you take this as a polished surface. This is the polished surface. The light falls on a polished surface. This is the light that is falling on a polished surface. This ray, call it as incident ray. So when light falls on a polished surface, it will get reflected. This is the reflected ray. So you have the incident ray and the reflected ray. At the point of incidence, I will draw one line that is called as the normal. This angle, the angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as angle of incidence, is represented as I. And the angle between the normal and the reflected ray, this is known as angle of reflection. It is represented as R. According to this laws of reflection, the first law is that angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. So angle I is equal to angle R. That is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. This angle is known as the angle of incidence. The angle between the normal and the reflected ray is known as the angle of reflection. According to this law of reflection, angle I is equal to angle R. That is, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. The second point is the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all will lie in the same plane. These are the two laws. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. The second one is the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all lies in the same plane. In this chapter, you will be learning about the images that is formed by the reflection of light on mirrors. Mirror can be a plane mirror or a spherical mirror. First, we will see the images that is formed by the plane mirror. Plane mirror is the mirror that every day you see your face. As soon as you get up, you go in front of the mirror and you see how you look. That mirror is called as a plane mirror. We will see how the images are formed in the plane mirror. So imagine this as the plane mirror. I keep an object in front of the mirror. This is an object in front of the mirror. Image will be formed here. How is the size of the image? Image is of the same size as that of object. Suppose if you stand in front of the mirror, you will see your reflection in the mirror. You will be of the same height. You won't be shorter or taller. What height you are, the same height you will see. So the image will be of same size. Size will be the same. Next, coming to the distance. How about this distance? The distance of the image will be same as the distance of the object from the mirror. These two distance will be the same. So distance of the image from the mirror will be same as the distance of the object from the mirror. So that is the second point. Distance. Third point. How is the image? It is erect. When you stand straight in front of the mirror, you will see a straight person standing in front of the mirror. So the image will be erect. Next, fourth point. This image cannot be caught on the screen. You cannot make the image to fall on the screen. Suppose if I keep a screen here, the image will not fall on the screen. So that type of image is known as virtual image. Virtual image means the image cannot be caught on the screen. You can see the image, but if I keep a screen here, the image will not be falling on the screen. That type of image is known as the virtual image. Next, the fifth point. It is laterally inverted. Image will be laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means what? When you see yourself in the mirror, the right hand side will look as the left hand side in the mirror. That is known as laterally inverted. For example, you take this letter R. How does this show in the mirror? So the right side will look as the left side. That is known as laterally inverted. So these are the characteristics of the images that is formed by the plane mirror. First, the size will be the same. The size of the image will be same as the size of the object. Second one, The distance of the image from the plane mirror will be same as the distance of the object from the plane mirror. Third one, image will be erect. Fourth one, image is virtual. That is, it cannot be caught on the screen. Fifth one, it is laterally inverted. That is, right side will look as the left side. These are the characteristics of plane mirror. Next, we will see about spherical mirror. Spherical mirrors, you have two types. One is known as the concave mirror. The other one is known as the convex mirror. Concave and convex. Concave means like this. The reflecting surface is the inner one. The outer side we will mark like this. Reflection will take place inside. That is inside the cave. This is the cave. Inside the cave. For your remembrance, this is the cave. So inside the cave, the reflection will take place. In convex mirror, reflection will take place in the outer surface. Outer surface only reflection will take place. In the concave mirror, reflection will take place inside the cave. This is how you can distinguish between the concave and convex mirror. These mirrors are a part of a sphere. That is why it is known as spherical mirror. For example, you take this concave mirror. It is a part of a sphere. So it is known as spherical mirror. Now you have to learn certain terms related to these mirrors. First one, pole of the mirror. This center point is known as the pole. Center point of the mirror is known as pole. Next is center of curvature. It is represented as C. The center of the sphere. This is known as center of curvature. If this is the sphere, because this mirror is a part of a sphere, the center is known as center of curvature. So the center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part. This center is known as center of curvature. It is represented as C. The line joining the center of curvature and the pole is known as radius of curvature. It is represented as R. So radius of curvature means it is a line joining the center of curvature and the pole, P. Next, you should know principal axis. Principal axis means it is a line that passes through center of curvature and the pole. This line. The line that passes through center of curvature and the pole is known as principal axis. So what are the various terms that you have learned? You have learned what is meant by the pole, the center of the reflecting surface or the reflecting mirror, that is known as the pole. The center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part is known as center of curvature. It is represented as C. The distance between the center of curvature and the pole, it is known as the radius of curvature. And the line that passes through, the straight line that passes through center of curvature and pole is known as the principal axis. Next, you should know what is meant by focus of the mirror. If I draw a ray that is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it will pass through a point on the principal axis. All this will meet at a point in the principal axis. As focus. This point is known as focus of the mirror. So focus of the mirror means it is a point on the principal axis when all the incident rays parallel to the principal axis will meet after reflection from the concave mirror is called as principal focus. This point is known as principal focus. The distance between the focus and the pole is known as focal length. It is represented as small f. So this distance between the focus and the pole is known as the focal length. It is represented as small f. Focal length is equal to half the radius of curvature. That means what? If radius of curvature of the sphere is 4 cm, R is equal to 4 cm, focal length will be 2 cm. This all you will get in problem. So remember, focal length is always half the radius of curvature. The other way around. Radius of curvature is equal to twice the focal length. So when you draw the radius of curvature now, you have to make sure that it is twice the focal length. These are some of the important terms that you should know in the mirror. What are the terms? First, you should know what is meant by pole. Pole is the center of the reflecting surface. Then you should know center of curvature. Center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part. Then you should know what is meant by radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is the radius of the sphere. Then the principal axis. Principal axis is a line that passes through the center of curvature and the pole. Next is the focus. A ray that is parallel to this principal axis after reflection will meet at a point on the principal axis. This is, in the case of concave mirror, this is known as the focus. Next you must know focal length. Focal length is the distance between the focus and the pole is known as the focal length. It will be half the radius of curvature. In the case of the convex mirror, this is the pole P. The center of the convex mirror is known as the pole. And this is center of curvature C. Center of the spherical mirror of which the mirror forms a part. This is center of curvature, the center of the spherical mirror of which the mirror forms a part. The line joining the center of curvature and the pole is known as radius of curvature. This is the radius of curvature. Now the rays that is coming from the object which are parallel to the principal axis. These are the rays that is coming from the object. They are coming and falling on the convex mirror. These rays, after falling on the convex mirror, it will get reflected. The reflected rays will appear to come from a point on the principal axis, like this. This point is known as principal focus of the convex mirror. In the case of concave mirror, how it is? The rays after reflection will fall on a point on the principal axis. That point is known as principal focus. In the case of convex mirror, rays will appear to come from a point on the principal axis. This point is known as principal focus of the convex mirror. Distance between pole and the focus is known as the focal length. Focal length is half the radius of curvature. Hope you understood till this. Learn till this. In the next video, I will show you the images that are formed by the concave and convex mirrors. Now take your reader, page number 161. Let us mark all the important points. The first one is the laws of reflection. This point you have to mark. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, and the incident ray, the normal to the mirror, and the point of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. These 2 points you have to write. Next question is what is the property of the image formed by the plane mirror? Mark this one. The size of the image. From there you mark. The size of the image is equal to that of object. The image formed is behind the mirror as the object. Image is laterally inverted. These points you have to mark. Next question. What are spherical mirrors? Mark this point. Mirrors whose reflecting surfaces are spherical are called spherical mirrors. Concave and convex mirror definition. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards is called concave mirror. Mark it. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved outward is called convex mirror. For pole, the center of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is a point called the pole. It lies on the surface of the mirror. The pole is represented by letter P. You may get in one word answer or choose the correct answer or definition also you can get it. Then take the next page. Center of curvature. As a center is given, so you can write the center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part is known as center of curvature of a spherical mirror. It is represented by letter C. In the case of concave mirror, the center of curvature lies in front of it. Whereas in the convex mirror, center of curvature will be outside the reflecting surface. Next question. Radius of curvature. The radius of the sphere of which the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror forms a part is called radius of curvature. Underline that point. Principal axis. A straight line passing through the pole and center of curvature of a spherical mirror is called the principal axis. Next question. What is meant by principal focus? Here you have the answer. A number of rays parallel to the principal axis after falling on a concave mirror, they will be meeting or intersecting at a point on the principal axis of the mirror. This point is called principal focus of the concave mirror. Mark that question. Next, focal length. The distance between the pole and the principal focus of a spherical mirror is called focal length. It is represented by letter F. Next question. The diameter of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is called aperture. I forgot to say about the aperture. This is a spherical mirror and this is a concave mirror. Concave mirror is a part of the spherical mirror. The shaded portion you can see is this is a concave mirror. It's a part of the spherical mirror. The diameter of the spherical mirror, Mn, it is known as the aperture. The diameter of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is called aperture. Underline that. Next is radius of curvature is equal to twice the focal length. Underline that also. Learn till this image formation by spherical mirrors. We will see in the next video.